Live from Pepsi Studios in beautiful Atlanta, high above on the 46th floor of downtown Atlanta, comes the Hospitality Hangout podcast. Everything is better with Pepsi. Jimbo, we got a great podcast. Let's kick her off. Oh, Jimbo, you got your story. You doing a little starry and vodka? Or you doing a little starry tequila? Or you going straight starry today?
No, it's Cuervo and starry. It's our own little version of ranch water.
Yeah, I was drinking a lot of ranch water last night with Andre Venner from our favorite doghouse. Man, he's got me hooked on that beverage now. It's all I drink.
I'm having a huge kick that Schatzy, you and Maria are down in Red Can country, the HQ of the Red Can, and yet here we are. I'm wearing my Pepsi hat. I'm representing the blue can. I'm drinking my starry.
Why not?
You're in the Pepsi studio high above the city of Atlanta. So I got to tell you, the blue can is showing up large and in charge.
I couldn't find Pure Leaf here. You know I love iced tea. I'm having a hard time finding Pure Leaf here, man.
Well, you know, careful. You're in Red Can country.
But don't forget, we're at a Marriott, and that's Pepsi country.
Pepsi country.
We are in Pepsi country.
But listen, super excited. We have a celebrity with us right now, Miss Maria Rivera.
We are super excited
from
about
Small
this.
Sliders. I got to tell you, making big things happen.
I got to tell you, Jimmy, before we kick it off and get in, I know we had a little pre Maria chat, if you will.
Yes.
But now we're officially within the podcast. I just want to go through and say, you say to me, Jimmy's like, how does one become the CEO of one of the fastest growing quick serve or fast casual restaurant groups in the country? Well, let me just give you a little background on how that happens, Jimmy. Okay. Well, it starts.
Give it to us.
You gotta have good food. Okay. So you gotta have good food. So okay. But now let's go back. Okay. We're at Universidad de Puerto Rico. Okay. We're in Puerto Rico. Do you like what I did there?
Yeah. By the way, don't use the accent.
Universidad de Puerto Rico.
Yeah, don't use the accent. Yeah, it's not. It's
and
not
you get
good.
a degree. What's not good?
No bueno. No
bueno.
Good.
Oh,
no.
thank you. Okay.
No.
Well, I thought it was good. All right. Then you get your Bachelor of Science. Okay, Jimmy. Then you go to Rollins College. Okay, and I think that's in Orlando, right? Rollins College, right? Orlando. Okay, I went there a few times. Beautiful. Okay. And you get the Master of Art, okay? And so now you got the sciences down pat, you got the arts down pat, all right? That's not enough, Jimmy. Not enough. Not if you want to be the CEO of the fastest growing restaurant, okay? You can't have just.
You need more education.
More. So you got to go to Colorado Technical University, Jimmy, and you got to get more science under your belt. So you get a Master of Science. You're a Bachelor of Science, you're a Master of Arts, you're a Master of Science. Now, and only then, can you start thinking about becoming the CEO of the fastest growing restaurant?
Where do you go first? Where do you go first?
Where do you go to learn? You go to Disney World, Jimmy. Because if you go to Disney World, they know something about hospitality. They know something about making people happy, right? So you go to Disney World. You go to Walt Disney World, back to, Orlando, Rollins College, back to that area. You stay 7 years. You need 7 years, not 6. Not 8, 7. 7 years is the number, Jimmy. Like 6-minute abs?
7-minute abs.
7 years. You go to Walt Disney World for 7 years, okay? And then after that, you immediately go and you become the director of food and beverage for a little company called Hilton. Hilton Hotels, right, Jimmy?
Absolutely.
But you're not done, Jimmy. You're not done. You can't just become the CEO of the fastest growing with just that. It's not 3 degrees. It's not. No. Then you got to go learn about casino business. So you got to go to Caesars Entertainment, and you got to understand how does food and beverage and how does Caesars, how does gambling work, how does that play? You got to spend a little time there learning about that. And then, Jimmy, you go back to Florida, and you go back to Orlando, you go to Darden. And you say, hey, let me become the vice president of operation of a little company called Darden. And you learn about that. But that's not enough, Jimmy. You're like, oh, that's enough. No. It's like Diana, Jimmy. It's not enough. And it's not enough. It's not enough, Jimmy. It's not enough.
Oh, yeah, I like you blend. Yes.
And then you go to TGI Fridays, Jimmy. And you spend 2 years there, right? Then you go to Logan's Roadhouse, executive vice president, 2 years there. And you're like, then I can become. No, you still cannot become the CEO of the. Then you got to go to Krispy Kreme and have donuts and donut experience. 6 years there, Jimmy. We're at 87 years
respect.
Now.
She was the CEO of Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
Please show some respect.
Jimmy, Maria has worked 87 years. plus 12 years of college, 87 years in the trenches.
By the way, what's amazing to me, she did all of this before the age of 30. That's what's amazing. All of that before the age of 30.
It's insane. And then, Jimmy, while she's doing all this, she becomes a board member of the Women in Restaurant Leadership, along with, by the way, our own Julie Zucker is on that same group of Women in Restaurant Leadership, which is awesome. Now, Jimmy, so you add up all that. It's 2, 6, 8, 58, 137 years.
Leave the number, leave the math to me, Schatzy. I'll take the math.
Only then, Jimmy, only then, in November of 2022, can you become the CEO of Small Sliders. Let me introduce, ladies and gentlemen, Maria Rivera, the CEO of Small Sliders. She's 486 years old. And let me tell you, she looks fantastic, but that's how much time and energy you got to put into it. She looks great. Jimmy, she eats healthy. This is it. Look at this. Maria Rivera, here she is. How much did we get right?
Most of it. Now CEO at Krispy Kreme. That's for all some other great people, but president of the U.S. business. That's the only thing.
Oh, you see, Jimmy, that's why I didn't say it.
I got Jimmy, one. By the way, I threw one thing in there, and I was wrong.
You're wrong. Don't interrupt me. I know what I'm doing.
But you did all the other stuff.
She went to Krispy Kreme and got a donut one time.
No, I did a lot of donuts for a long time. Millions of donuts.
Millions of donuts. She looks great for 400, right, Jimmy? Jimmy, let's kick it off, man. We don't have a lot of time with a person like this.
Maria,
this is royalty.
Thank you so much for joining us, and I love that we continue and credit to our partner and producer Julie Zucker for not just getting great guests, but getting great leaders who are really making things happen in this industry.
Great women leaders in restaurants, Jimmy.
Sorry, Schatzy?
Women in restaurants is the key here. That's the theme.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just love we're getting, yes, certainly we're getting women in leadership positions, but folks that are really taking on brands that are really, again, changing this landscape and changing it for the better. You know, from Disney to Caesars to Krispy Kreme, you've seen a lot. So I want to ask, what's the biggest lesson that you took away from your time at Disney or the Mouse House? They are clearly one of the, a legendary company and have lasted the test of time. So I always find it curious when somebody is working with such a landmark, what did you take away that you're now applying to Small Sliders, if anything, from that experience?
Well, I always consider my time at Disney elite training. So it's almost like going to elite school. I got lucky to do it on the first round. Some people do it later on in life. I think that most of us, when we are in Florida, we have to do a rotation through the Mouse and the casting center. And I got lucky to be able to start as an hourly team member and leave as a director. I left as a director, food and beverage. My last rotation was a Polynesian.
What kind of budget you got there as a food and beverage director at Disney? What's the budget there? How much money you got?
It's in the millions of dollars for sure. But I think what I took away from my time at Disney is I don't think I know, the incredible focus on customer experience. It is a quintessential hospitality brand, and it is very much focus on the customer experience end to end. So, you're followed throughout your journey. You walk into a park and it's almost like you have Big Brother watching, but every cast member is trained to follow you and to be 100% dedicated to your experience. And it forces you to really understand who's behind the transaction, which is really, really, really important, I think, for a CEO today, to really understand their consumers intimately and deeply. So it certainly shaped my thinking. I very much still run things as I did back in the day when I was a restaurant manager at Pinocchio Village House in the Magic Kingdom, which was my first round of QSR experience.
The old Pinocchio House.
Let me tell you, that's a lot of burgers. Burgers were destined to be my future.
Yes.
Cosmic racer through Pinocchios. It's funny because it's full circle for me.
Yeah.
I started in the burger space and I'm now in the burger space.
Yes, it's like the Godfather line, Jimbo.
You try to get out, they bring you back in.
Bring you right
100%.
back in.
I'm 100%.
So let me say, I heard you're all about the cans, and I'm not talking about the Starry, Jim. I'm not talking about Pepsi. Okay, we're talking about these Small Sliders are in 750-foot restaurants. These are tiny little little footprints, right?
Yes.
And I mean, so these are like little tiny houses, right? I mean, these are tiny. So how does a small little compact 750-foot facility, how are you, I mean, you are changing the game of fast casual with these little footprints. And I was on a panel today and we talked about what the footprint of restaurants will look like in 10 years. And everybody agreed that they would be under 1,000 square feet. So you're already there. So you're 10 years ahead of the curve.
Yeah, we're very passionate about the small format. The brand started in small format. And I've said it.
Small burgers.
Yes, small burgers.
In a small space.
In a small footprint. The only thing that is big is our flavor and our attitude. Other than that, everything is tiny. Have you ever seen the show Tiny Living? It is truly like tiny house. It's everything has to be really engineered and thought through for a very, very small format environment. You know, we started that way. You know, modular is not new, right? It's been around.
You look there.
Okay.
Don't look at me.
Okay.
You gotta look here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I look at that.
Maria, you look at the camera. We gotta get you in the camera. Look at that. Isn't that better? Don't look at me.
I've lived in New York for a long time, so I like looking at you.
Stop looking at me.
You know,
Maria's she wants to. She's sitting next to you. She wants to look in the eye.
Exactly.
She's looking in the eye, Schatzy.
Exactly. I am looking at
Just
you.
pretend that's my eye right
no,
there.
No, I'm going to.
Okay.
I'm going to follow instructions from here on.
Go ahead.
Now, look, 750 square foot containers are really important to us. You know, modular is not new. It started in the international markets and it's been highly effective for a lot of years, not so much on the domestic side. So what we're doing that is different is we're bringing that here in a very organic way. And it allows us to have agile thinking around our real estate, around product offering, around omni-channel model, all in a way that is really authentic to us. And it's fun. Why we're doing it is actually an interesting part is, you know, we believe that the consumer landscape has changed dramatically over the past couple of years. You know, the pandemic changed the way this next generation of consumers eats. You know, they snack a lot, right? That's the whole point of being, you know, I think that's what they learned to do, what they were locked in for almost 2 years. So they want to, you know, this next generation wants to interact with brands that are going to feel very authentic to what they have known and learned to do as diners. And, you know, 90% of all decisions today are made by 13-year-olds, I swear. So
interesting,
it's
Jimmy. Jimmy, you've got interesting something ahead of you considering Sylvie's like 8.
In my house, the decision, she's 7. In my house, the food decisions are made by the 7-year-old. She's absolutely clever. She's figured out which of the restaurants that she likes that we'll say yes to. So basically, she makes dinner decision every night. Maria, I want to ask you, this is an incredibly fragmented, and I think we're a very friendly industry. I really believe that we're a community, but we're also a very competitive one. And there are so many options. And we hear about the chicken wars and the burger wars and the pizza wars and the viral food trends. And
the cola
there's
wars,
plenty
Jimmy,
of
the
fierce
cola
competition. Cola wars. But what is Small's Slider doing to stand out from the crowd? And I have to tell you, I happen to love the name. I think back to the Sandlot and you're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
Yeah.
I love that.
Love that movie.
But tell me, what is Smalls doing to stand out in a fiercely competitive space?
Well, we're actually doing the opposite of that. We're not competing. So I know that's hard to wrap your head around, and a lot of people say that, but we are building a niche brand, and you know, somebody more intelligent than I, which of course we all know, Ron Shash from, you know, the founder of Panera has said, and now with Cava, if you really carve your own lane, there's really no competition. You know, I admire deeply a lot of burger brands that we all have come to love. You know, so much meat in the U.S. is consumed between 2 slices of bread. I think there's room to play if you're going to do something very different that has fandom around it, and if you really know who you are and where you want to play. And that's really all we're focused on. I can't allow the team or myself to be distracted on what everybody else is doing. I'm rooting for everybody, but what I'm really focused on doing is delivering a phenomenal slider outside of a 750 square foot container can that actually drops in 27 minutes end to end when we drop the can, and really focus on fast, hospital clean environments that are full of hospitality and where people can have a lot of fun. So that's all I'm focused on. I mean, we have a great product.
I'm hungry talking about sliders. Did you bring any?
No, but we have a can van, and we have our test kitchen very close to here. So
is it downstairs in the lobby?
No, but if you were at Prosper, you probably had one of those.
I'm so hungry. I was thinking about the ones that I had at Prosper. Jimmy was talking about. The reason Jimmy didn't get one is because they brought out two sections, like two areas. And it was like no one had ever seen a hamburger before.
It's like people acted like they'd never eaten before,
what is this burger you talk of?
People just went and I have to say, I thought people were a little selfish. They could have taken maybe one or two. They're taking 3 or 4.
No, they were making it like it was dinner.
Hoarding they were.
No, it was supposed to be a snack, and they made it out like it was dinner.
Let me tell you, we served over 700 sliders in 24 minutes with our fries and queso and smalls, and it disappeared.
In
12 minutes.
I literally walked out of a meeting because I heard because someone showed up. And I was in the Ritz, the lounge, the lobby bar, and somebody showed up with like a slider. I'm like, I got to end this meeting right now. I know you want to invest, but I'll catch you later. I'm going to get my sliders.
Josh Halpern. I'm telling you, he had like 30 of them. I saw him, Jimmy. I saw him with so many of them. He had them in his pocket.
Well, we love Josh.
Yeah, he had him in his pocket, and I don't think that's right. Jimmy didn't get one slider.
No, we love Josh. I mean,
it's not a love thing. I'm just saying, don't put them in your pocket. It's like saving them for the next day.
Well, we our sliders, they're cheeseburger sliders. They're very uncomplicated, and all we do is dunk them in smalls and queso. That's how we walk around and eat them. So everybody was learning how to eat those small sliders. And I know you mentioned the name. The name actually comes from The Sandlot. It's Brandon Landry's favorite movie of all time.
Hold on a second.
Yes.
Hold on a second.
I swear I'm not joking. When I heard small sliders,
Jimmy, this is just coming in. We have breaking news just coming in. We're releasing this live from the Hospitality Hangout. Jimmy Frischling. We're here with Maria Rivera, CEO of Small Slide. Breaking news. Apparently the name comes from The Sandlot.
It does.
Jimmy? Can you tell us about that?
Fantastic movie, and I have a T-shirt when my daughter was 2. I have a shirt that says "You're killing me, Smalls."
Yeah.
And my daughter's wearing the shirt. I'm Smalls.
Well, it's funny because I asked this question to Brandon Landry, our founder, also founder of Walk-Ons and another concept called Supper Club BTR, and he's hyper creative. He said the name came to me before the slider. And it's because that is his favorite movie. Little Brandon, which is the brand, right? The brand is Little Brandon. Brandon actually loves cheeseburgers and little cheeseburgers. He was a picky eater. A lot of people don't know. This is the only thing, and I've talked to his parents, that he would eat when he was a kid, a cheeseburger. So
funny.
So, he loves them, and he makes a great slider. By the way, the best slider that you will ever have will be made by Brandon Landry. And all we were doing is killing this idea that he had. But yes.
I was younger. I would go to McDonald's. I'd get in a fight with my brother because I didn't like cheese on my burger, but I wanted my older brother. He had a cheeseburger. He would always get a cheeseburger. So I would go with him and the family, and I would go to McDonald's, and I would order a cheeseburger with no cheese. And then my brother would be like, "You want a burger?" I'm like, "No, I want a cheeseburger, no cheese." And then he'd be, and I would literally start crying. Like, "No, I don't want a cheeseburger, no cheese. What don't you understand? He's doing a burger. No!" Yeah.
By the way, that was a moment.
This is 2 years ago.
There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to unpack there. We don't have time, and we can't bore Maria with that. There's a lot to unpack there about you and your brother and going to McDonald's.
Yes. Well, we don't say you're killing me, Smalls, because that wouldn't be good. So we're saying you're grilling me, Smalls.
Grilling me, Smalls.
You're thrilling me, Smalls.
Yeah,
you're thrilling me.
Listen, by the way, grilling me,
I honestly, I didn't know that was I didn't know it was a Sandlot. That's what I was thinking about with Smalls.
Of course.
Smalls makes me happy. Smalls, that character, that movie. And that's what it made me think about. So I love that story. Thank you for sharing it.
Let's talk a little bit about, before we go on, because we got a lot to get to and not a lot of time, because Maria has promised to get me a couple of burgers. Sliders very soon. She's going to run out and take an Uber to the store closest to here and bring it back
to
to me.
A unique subscription club that you're creating for yourself.
Look, we talk about
the CEO is going to go get you a slider.
Yes, 100%.
That's a unique subscription club.
Not just one, a few. Listen, just like you remember, like Scott from Badass Coffee, he brings coffee to people. That's the kind of hospitality.
Yes.
Well, you know what Maria does? They don't use DoorDash. They don't use Uber. They use Maria. It's Maria, and you order from Maria, and she comes to, that's hospitality. She brings the food to your house.
Wearing my smorage out.
Yes, exactly. Listen, you talked about the leadership, the importance of leadership, and especially during difficult times. So now I'm picturing you in a group hug with your team, a slider in hand, maybe the hat in another hand, or maybe just 2 sliders, But I'm picturing, like, how do you balance being an empathetic leader, right? But yet you need to drive impressive results today. I mean, so you want to, especially with the younger generation, the people that are working with you. So how do you drive impressive results, but also being an empathetic leader, right? What secret sauce can you share about balancing this? I mean, is this all from your days at Disney? What can you tell us?
Yeah, well, definitely my leadership style has mostly been influenced by my time at Disney, where the organization empowers people to think and to act on behalf of both the team and the customer. I would say group hug is an approach, but there's caring and accountability that go hand in hand. If you're working in our organization, you do have to drive results, but the way that we drive results is just do what you say you're going to do. Mistakes are going to be made. Just do what you say you're going to do. Stay focused and let us help you. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't. So, but we have to hold you accountable. If you say you're going to do X, then you're going to do that. And if you didn't, why didn't you do it? So, it's not easy working in environments where you're literally lifting a brand from a white piece of paper. We're literally building a brand from a white piece of paper,
I'm not sure what you did there, Schatzy. I'm going to assume
Because
that
I just know what you were saying. It was so beautiful, Jimmy. It brings tears to my eyes.
You went with the theme song from Cheers. Okay,
that's all I got, Jimmy. It's all I got loaded up here, But I just felt like it was special.
Building a brand from a blank sheet of paper, and now it's Smalls, baby. It's all Smalls.
Yeah, it's like because it's like it's
thrilling. Yeah. Smalls is thrilling and chilling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it was very clear to me when I became acquainted with the brand and I tasted the product. I said, wow, this is really different, right? If somebody needs to tell a story and scale it, and I love to build things and take them apart. So, full circle, one product brands apparently are my thing. So here I decided to just go tell the story. But, you're building from a white sheet of paper, your team, your franchisees, your partners, like everything, there's incredible discipline that goes behind that. So, again, carrying an accountability and being super vulnerable and willing to learn along the way. Because let me tell you something, if anybody tells you that they know how to do all of this all the time, that's not true. You've been in the business for a long time. You know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Nobody should sit around and pretend that they know it all.
Absolutely not. Jimbo, you want to kick us off and do a little talking back?
I do. Maria, Schatz and I clearly love to chat
with
our guests.
Timing.
And we learned along the way that sometimes our guest has a question or so for us. So we invite you to ask us anything you like. We like to say nothing's off the table. Maria, the microphone is yours.
Well, I've been following you for a while, and you were one of the first people to call us out on your infamous B list that everybody wants to get into. I remember I had just been named CEO, and you gave me a shout out, and I want to know why. So that's my first question. Not, on Smalls, you've always been giving us a platform, and you've been fans and you followed us, and we're very grateful for that. But I just want to know what's attractive to you.
So thank you for the shout out to our B list. But just to be clear, the B list is not Schatzy. It's not our partner Julie. It's
very
not me. It's the machine. It's the machine. It's the algorithms.
Yes.
It's very complex. In fact, I know that there are people trying to crack the algorithms, crack the codes. There's been I think about 100 B lists now. But I can say, because like the B list of the machine treats its list kind of like Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Club is you can't talk about Fight Club, and the second rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club. But the machine's very sensitive. But we are allowed to share the following. This is what I understand: is that the B list does recognize the good people doing good things in the industry we love. And it is not.
Uh-oh. Jimmy just froze. Look at that. Jimmy just froze. What was he going to say?
Probably the algorithm.
It was a very sophisticated algorithm that is run through over and over, taking people. It's getting all the news and information. It ingests everything using very sophisticated AI. It's built on Snowflake, and it curates, and it comes up with a list every week of who is moving and shaking, doing great things in this we love. That's what Jimmy wanted to say.
Well,
He froze there.
We're doing all this Snowflake integration too.
Yeah, Snowflake is where it's at. And Jimmy wanted to tell you that, but he couldn't because he completely froze there.
Well,
so
we are on this 40-something, whatever floor.
The 46th floor. I don't know. Does the internet work up here? But Jimmy's in New York. I don't know what happened. We lost Jimmy, Julie. We've lost Jimmy. But we can keep going. Julie? Keep going. All right, listen, we're going into right now. We're going hot or not. Okay, here we go. We're going to a little hot or not. Are you ready?
I don't even know what that is.
It doesn't matter. You're going to be great. You're going to be ready. Jimmy's going to come back, and we're going to be hot or not. Okay, here we go. I'm going to ask you. I'm going to throw out a couple of words, a couple of things, and you're going to say hot or not. And then when Jimmy comes back, he's going to opine. Okay?
Is this a fail?
You're going to say hot or not. I'm going to say a word or a phrase. Ghost kitchens, hot or not?
Not.
Plant-based meat alternatives, hot or not?
Hot.
QR code menus, hot or not?
Not.
Drive-through AI ordering systems, hot or not?
Uber hot.
Uber hot. Wow. All right, listen. Let's talk about this. Jimmy's not back. This is usually what he likes to jump in, okay? But you said ghost kitchens are not hot. You said plant-based meat alternatives are hot. But you said drive-through AI ordering systems. First, I just want to ask, plant-based meat alternatives hot. Why is that hot? I mean, you're not. Are you serving them at Smalls?
No, and we don't plan to.
So why do you say that's so hot? Because I see a lot of people like the Impossible Burger and some of these things. A lot of like I think Burger King. One of them is like dropping it, and I see like a lot of they're having a tough time. So why do you say hot?
Yeah, I would say meat alternative doesn't necessarily need to be the meat alternative product.
Right.
It could be what do you do with fries? What do you do with gluten free? What do you do? I think that especially this Z Gen and Alpha Gen, they want to have different optionalities. Yep. There's food allergies, there's all those things. So I think that to be a relevant brand, you have to find ways in which you don't change your core product, and you can still be authentic to who you are while addressing the majority and the reality of what's happened out there. So when you say plant, I get it. It's different for me that
it's like it says, it's just an alternative.
Exactly.
And I think we need alternatives, and they're going to come and they're going to go, and they're taking a piece of the market. Yes. And maybe it's not like, I think some people thought that was going to take, like the whole market was going to change. But you know what? It's a piece of the market, and it'll be always be a piece of the market.
Yes.
And drive-through AI ordering. Let's get there. You say uber hot. Now I just saw like McDonald's, like basically, they said we're not doing the voice drive-through. Now, when I say the drive-through AI ordering system, you say it's uber hot. What are you seeing that you're using that you're getting a lot of traction? Are you guys doing drive-through?
So we are drive-through only.
Okay.
85% of our business is drive-through and 15% is window. We don't have indoor eating. Mm-hmm. Right, we're patio. So I need 750 square foot.
Right.
I mean, we haven't moved to AI. We are moving to fully enabled, smart drive-through that aids us to simplify order. Right. For example, the only thing you decide at Smalls is how many sliders you're going to have.
What about the fries?
Well, the fries come with the sliders. So
every slider comes with fries.
Every slider come with fries.
What if I order like 5 sliders? Get more.
Well, you order 1, 2, 3, or 4. Mm-hmm. If not, you go to a pack. It comes with fries. Our seasoned fries are ridiculously good.
Yeah, I saw.
And you either have queso or smosh. So
They had the queso at Prosper.
Oh yeah, the queso.
People were dumping that all over
Our
the place.
queso is amazing.
Yeah, so Maria, it was great having you on the podcast. I got to tell you, I'm just kidding. I did that because Jimmy just joined back on and make him feel like he missed the whole thing, Yeah.
But anyway, why I say that is because simplifying the way they order, right? The two most important things is who's taking your order and how they're taking your order and who's delivering your order. So therefore, simplifying that through drive-through also has to be pretty authentic to who you are. I think AI assists and aids. I mean, you do have to have some hospitality built into your user experience and customer journey.
Makes perfect sense.
But, I would say that it's uber hard because it's a topic. Like, you have to address it.
Right.
Either you do it or you don't do it, but you have to address it.
Right. And there's different solutions for it, right? If we don't know, so it may not be voice, but some aspect of automation. Like, I know a lot of folks are, using kiosk ordering now is a big deal, right? So you need to, a lot of tech.
Facial recognition, all those things.
I agree. Jimmy, you missed some really good stuff, but you know what? You're back now. We're going right into Jimbo because you have the worst internet or something. I don't know what's going on over there. We're going right into the branded quickfire, okay? Here we go.
All right.
We're doing branded quickfire Atlanta edition, high above in Pepsi Studios, high above Atlanta. Here we go, Jimbo, with Maria from Small Sliders. Here we go. Maria, biggest pet peeve.
Oh my God, tardiness. Absolutely. Biggest pet peeve.
How good would me and Maria get along, Jimmy?
Cannot. Tardiness.
Tardiness. Maria and I would get along really well, huh?
Tardiness.
Yeah, Maria, you don't know anything about Schatzy time.
Yeah,
Schatzy time on Zoom calls about 6 minutes, give or take.
No.
Oh, forget that. What about dinner?
Tardiness.
You called for 7. I'm there at 8.
No. You should have been born in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I gotta say, there you go.
And I can say that.
Exactly. Maybe exactly.
Island time.
Which Atlanta-based musician would you most want to have over for dinner? Would it be Outkast, Usher, Ludacris, or Gladys Knight? And the Pips are coming. She's bringing the Pips.
Oh, Usher.
Or, by the way, you can have a write-in. You could write in your own person.
No.
They don't even have to be from Atlanta.
Usher, for sure.
Okay. We'll
Usher. Yes. I mean, I like Usher. I do.
Well, you're going to have dinner with him. You better like him.
Yeah, I like Gladys Knight too, but I have to say Usher.
I agree.
He's a comeback story. So
is Gladys Knight alive, Jimmy?
I'm liking it.
Is she alive?
I don't know.
I don't either. Okay.
Usher for sure.
If you had to eat...
Usher's alive.
Usher.
No, Usher we know.
Usher's alive.
If you had to eat one Atlanta specialty for the rest of your life, you're stuck on a deserted island and you got one food and it comes from Atlanta, would it be a peach cobbler, chicken and waffles, or a varsity chili dog? What are you're stuck on a deserted island for the rest of your life, you got one food. What are you eating out of those? Well, you can write in your own.
No, chicken and waffles. Chicken in Atlanta is...
Chicken and waffles. Jimbo, same question.
Chicken and waffles.
True or false? True or false? Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport is the busiest airport in the world.
I want to say true. It feels that way most days, although I'm sure globally there's another airport, maybe Dubai, hitting.
So it is. You are half right. It is a trick question. Jimmy, do you care to opine on that one?
I think Maria crushed it because it is the busiest by total passenger traffic. And then she went, but maybe there's a busier she went Dubai international standards. I think she crushed it.
Yeah,
the judges are giving full credit to Maria.
Yeah, by international, it may not be, right, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Correct. By international passenger traffic, it's not.
I think it's Dubai or something like that.
It is Dubai.
It's Dubai.
It is
and
Dubai.
I think they're building like another airport. It's like the biggest in the world or something. Everything's bigger in Dubai and Texas. All right.
By the way, as much as the previous question was a trick question, I think this next one is the least trick question that I've ever seen come on the quick fire.
Julie
might
throws
be the
a couple
least
my
trick question.
way. If you were to challenge, Jimmy and I to a peach cobbler eating contest, what are you better odds of beating? Jimmy, take off your shirt.
Yes, I was going to say. I think this is the least tricky question.
Who do you have
the least? Who do you have the
better odds of beating?
Better odds of beating?
Schatzy,
Schatzy
cobbler eating contest,
coming in at $1.48, or Jimmy coming in a little more than that.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Jimmy eating the peach cobbler.
Oh, okay, yeah. I gotta tell you, Jimbo, Maria, she's no joke, man. She can eat.
So she has better odds of beating me. All right, I stand
yeah.
corrected.
What do you know about Maria?
What do I know? What do I know about Maria's peach cobbler eating contest? I could just tell you, Schatzy, I'd slay you.
I know you would. I know you would. I agree. But listen, I got to tell you, that was awesome, Jimbo. How great is Maria?
Very excited. Look, I know I got cut off earlier, but we were and continue to be very excited about what you and your company are doing.
Thank you.
As I said earlier, the B list is about the good people doing good things in the industry we love. And we saw the machine saw your elevation. You're taking the helm. We saw what you were doing. We saw the differentiation, and we like to celebrate people that are doing good things.
Wow, thank you.
So you may have been early, and maybe we were making an early call, but we felt really good about the call. That you are a brand and a person to be taking notice of. So I wish you continued success. We're going to continue to cheer for you and root for you. But I have to tell you, I think there's a lot of wind in your sail. Not that I'm a boater, but I understand the analogy, and none of that is easy.
Jimmy, I got to catch a flight. I just want to let you. I have to catch a flight. So are you done pontificating? I got to say goodbye to Maria. I mean, he'll just keep going on and on. I mean, I haven't eaten lunch. I got to catch a flight. Yeah.
I'm done giving my graciousness, and to our listeners, we appreciate you very much.
And let me tell you, Maria, and here's the fans. Here they go. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Maria Rivera.
Well, thank you very much.
They love her.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And now Schatzy has to go to the busiest airport in America.
Yes.
Yeah, this was great. This is awesome.
Catch his flight.
Cheers, everybody.
Thank you, Maria.